Hey everybody out there, welcome back to a new episode on Gunpla TV, the episode where we're actually not talking about anything Gunpla related, but hey, you all out there are probably staying home hopefully, and some of you might be in quarantine, so you need something to watch, and we do have new items that were released this week. Once again, my name is Todd, and I am once again joined by the lovely
Dorothy.
Dorothy, welcome back, Dorothy, to your second appearance on Gunpla TV.
Thank you.
So, did you enjoy it last week?
I did. It was great. It was so nice to see all the friendly welcomes in the comments.
Hopefully everybody out there was nice. It's been a while since I checked the comments, to be honest. But yes, are you ready to talk about some more new stuff with me?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so actually you might have some history with either of these two items as well, I wonder. So I've been looking forward to this week. I know we've had some other big releases that came this week. We had like the GLs and some other cool stuff. Was the Perfect Grade released this month? I don't remember actually, to be honest. But lots of new stuff, lots of great stuff has been released lately. Even though these are kind of smaller releases, I've been looking forward to them because this is unique, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's not like your normal Gundam type thing.
Not.
Actually, when we went to the Tokyo Hobby Show last September, that was the first time we saw this there, and I was maybe a bit confused about what the heck these were, so I didn't even cover these during our Tokyo Hobby Show video. I didn't think they were model kits. I thought they were just something completely different.
Oh.
So then I was kind of shocked to find out, yes, these are just going to be regular old model kits, just like a Gundam.
Wow.
But they're not Gundam. We got video game systems, not just any video game systems. These harken back to the 32-bit era, the very first kind of disc-based CD game systems that was released. Not the first CD system for Sega, though. Sega originally had the Sega Cd. Do you remember Sega Cd?
No, I don't really have a lot of history with the
Sega Saturn. So yeah, Sega originally, they had, here in Japan it's called the Mega Drive. In America, where I'm from, and I think Canada too, it was called the Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah,
Do you remember the Sega Genesis?
That rings a bell, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the original Sega Genesis, now there was like different versions of it that came out. The version, growing up, I never had the Genesis. My cousin had it, and he had the old style one where the CD player was actually a unit that plugged into the bottom of it. It was like a giant, these days, well, not really giant, I guess, not that big, but it was like a bigger version of the Genesis and a huge CD thing that sat underneath it. And then later on they came out with the smaller Genesis, which had a CD player that sat next to it. And at some point they also came out with like a unit that was combined, the CD unit and the cartridge slot was combined into one system.
Wow.
That was like the first Sega CD based system. But PlayStation, did you have a PlayStation?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any favorite games that you remember playing on the PlayStation?
Of course. Well, like me and my sister, we always played this game called, it's so old. Do you know Air Geese?
Okay,
Have you heard of it?
I do believe I've heard of that one.
And then what else? We played Chrono Cross.
Okay, Chrono Cross.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know?
that's famous. That's famous. A lot of those the old Square games like Final Fantasy VII. Those were the really big. Chrono Cross falls into one of that category. Those old role-playing games were really popular. Lots of people loved playing those classic Square, and that was like probably like one of the highest points of Square's existence. Really, is when they did the Final Fantasy VII Chrono Cross. Everybody loved those games.
Yeah.
Everybody. I still remember when I remember originally buying my PlayStation, I think it was around 1997. And the first game that I bought for it was a space shooter called Colony Wars.
Colony Wars?
I loved Colony Wars. I still wish, especially these days when we have PlayStation VR, I wish they would do a new Colony Wars with like a VR version, but someday I hope. And actually, I have some work history with PlayStation.
Oh?
In the year 2000, I started to work for a company called Activision.
Activision, that
Probably rings a bell. It's a game company. They've been around for a long time. I started working there in year 2000 as a video game tester. And it wasn't the first game I worked on when I was working at Activision, but the second game that I worked on at Activision was a game called Tenchu 2.
Tenchu 2?
Tenchu 2, it's like a stealth ninja type game.
Oh, okay.
So it was really, that was one of the more fun games that I got to work on when I was working at Activision. I worked on 2 different games for the original PlayStation 1. One was Tenchu 2, and the other wasn't as exciting to play. It was called Disney's Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure, I think.
That wasn't that exciting? Come on.
It wasn't the best game, to be honest, but I mean, work is work, and you can when you're working as a game tester, you can literally be spending 8 hours a day just testing menus. Not actually playing the game, just testing all the different variations on the menus, if there's anything wrong with it, testing it all different kinds of options. So, yeah, it can be fun at times, and it can be kind of quite boring at times as well. So, yeah, 2 PlayStation 1 games out there. If you own those games, my name will be in the credit that plays at the end of the game.
Seriously? Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Isn't it exciting? I had physical copies of those, because when you work on the game, you get a free copy after the game was released. But when I moved to Japan, I think I just sold everything, including all my games that I worked on. So I'm kind of sad. I kind of regret getting rid of that stuff, because, hey, my name is in it. But what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do?
Hunt them down.
You can hunt them down indeed. So yeah, actually Sega Saturn, I owned both of these systems at one point. I owned this one originally when it was brand new, but later on I went back and I bought a Sega Saturn at one point. I had Panzer Dragoon Saga.
I know.
These days it's kind of more popular than when it was actually released. And that game, I think it had like 4 different discs inside of the case, because in those days, if the game was really big, it came on like multiple discs and you had to switch it out. Like the old Gran Turismo 2, I believe, also was a dual disc game. So yeah, they used to do that more in those days. And I kind of wish I kept my Panzer Dragoon Saga, because now that game is worth quite a lot.
Oh, damn.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so this is the Japanese version, though. So the Japanese version of the Sega Saturn was this more gray color. In America, though, it was black. Because the Genesis, the Mega Drive, those were all black. So they released a black Saturn in the US, and they had a gray one here in Japan. So this being released in Japan, we get the gray Japanese version. But the PlayStation 1, the original PSX, it was known also as, was gray all around the world.
Yeah.
And I like that they copy like the original box art for the original system. I believe the first release of the PlayStation had a box art that was pretty much identical to this. And the same for the Saturn, at least in Japan. I've seen this box color sitting at like Contadons when I go to used shops. So that is quite cool. And these are not 1/1 scale, they are 2/5 scale.
2/5.
So it's going to be a bit small. Do you want to crack this open? Let's see. I haven't opened this from the bags yet, so we can kind of take a look at just how small these things are going to be. So it's kind of cool. You got this green PCB board that mimics the chips for the inside of the PlayStation, and you also get a clear disc.
A clear disc?
So you got a little tiny mini CD, but for that CD here we've got the stickers. So you were able to place these stickers on it, because the original first generation PlayStation, well, pretty much all the original PlayStation ones, the discs, most CDs are kind of clear on the bottom, and you can just see like the silver.
Right. Yeah.
But PlayStation discs were black. Do you remember those black discs?
I do remember.
So you got the top, and you got a sticker for the bottom of the disc, so it's going to be all black just to look. Well, it makes me wonder, why didn't they just, instead of having this in clear, why didn't they just make it in like black, or like a smoky type black?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but there you have it. All right, and also we have more chips here on the side here, as well as the case, and there's a cable.
Is there like a memory card that you can stick
You know, there is a memory card. There's a memory card here.
Oh my gosh.
So it does have the memory card, and you also have a little tiny controller.
Oh, that's so nice.
I wonder, I think the PlayStation Mini, the actual mini version that they've released that has like comes preloaded with 50 games, I wonder what the size difference is compared to this thing. That would be interesting to check out, but I don't have a PlayStation Mini.
Neither do I. I don't think
have-
I've ever seen one.
You never seen one? Okay, I have the Famicom Mini. I have a Super Nintendo Mini. I have like all the Nintendo Mini systems. TurboGrafx Mini also was just released this month, but I never got around to buying the PlayStation Mini because it just wasn't actually the greatest. The greatest thing I ever. I have a Genesis Mini, by the way. But yes, so PlayStation, Sega Saturn. So actually, since Dorothy,
Yes.
would you like to do your first review?
My first review?
Would you like to join us on Gunpla TV and actually build and review something?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so I know I've been looking forward to this forever, but you had a PlayStation as well, so
I did.
will you do us the honor of reviewing the PlayStation, building and reviewing the PlayStation?
Building and reviewing.
Do you think you can do that for us?
I think I can do that.
Okay,
yes.
so we'll be excited to look forward to your first review on Gunpla TV of the PlayStation. You don't really have to talk about articulation with this like a Gundam, but you can talk about all the other stuff and all your memories of playing the PlayStation when you do the review too. So
Yeah, okay, I'm excited.
all right, that's good. And so you'll do the PlayStation, and I'll do the Sega Saturn. Exciting.
Any really big difference about these two?
About
Would
these
you
two
say?
systems,
Like-
they're completely different architecture.
Oh, okay, I see.
Well, I mean, when, like these days, like the Xbox and the current PlayStation 4, and they're both based on the x86 type of architecture, and they're both using system chips from not NVIDIA, but I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember the name of the company, but these days modern game systems are very close architecturally. But back in the old days, the game systems were quite different as far as in terms of actually like the design and the structure of the chips that they would run on. So
Oh, I see.
it was quite different back in those days, but these days not so much different. But yeah, some of the games you would release a game on both systems, but it was a bit harder to actually kind of do one game for one system, and you'd have to like rebuild the entire game for the other system, kind of thing back in those days.
Oh, wow. I see.
So exciting! The poor Saturn didn't actually last that long. It was soon replaced by the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, the Dreamcast. What does that look like again?
That was a white one.
Okay.
That was there was black in the US, but the Dreamcast, it was kind of a bit thinner, a bit thicker. I don't know. It was just like a white box basically.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up later.
So that one, the Sega Dreamcast, was unfortunately the last Sega home console that they did before they said, okay, we're done with doing home consoles. So the Sega Saturn kind of killed them, unfortunately. But it wasn't a bad system. It was actually, I believe it was more powerful than the PlayStation, if my memory serves me correct. All right, enough talk about video game systems. We have 3 other new releases from Bandai over here. Maybe not terribly too exciting. But what do we have here? We have Entry Grade.
Entry grade?
So this is going to be the first release in this Entry Grade series, and this says ages 3 and up.
Oh, it must be really easy then.
Must be really easy. So usually HG kits are ages like 8 and up. So they want to try to make a simpler model so that you can get people building models at a younger age. So it's not going to have terribly too complex parts. It's not going to have very small parts, I would imagine. Nothing very sharp. Stickers. This thing has no articulation to it. It's basically kind of a stand-in-place figure. Although it does look like his arm maybe can go.
This is for ages 3 and up.
3 and up. You will not need nippers for this. You could just pull them off of the runners. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, 3 and up. Actually, the parts are a bit smaller than I would imagine for somebody that was, it says 3, age 3 and up. So, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
So this one is Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider 01 Rising Hopper.
I don't know much about Kamen Rider.
Neither do I,
Okay.
to be honest. But yeah, we got Kamen Rider, and we have, these ones are actually ages 6 and up. So they're maybe a bit more complex, I would imagine, than the 3 years old and up version. So yeah, ages 6 and up. We have, what are their names?
It looks like we have Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku.
Hey now.
Yep, and Vegeta.
Vegeta, okay.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta.
So we got Goku and Vegeta, two of the main characters, I believe, from that series.
Dragon Ball Super.
Super! Alright, 2 super kits for ages 6 and up. So if you want to have somebody, if they're a fan of Dragon Ball and they're maybe only 6 years old, you want to get them into modeling, this could be for you. You want to take a look inside?
Yes, may I see? I just want to see how much more complex it is. Like a kit for ages 3 and up versus a kit for ages 6 and up.
Alright, so what do we have here? Oh, he's got a nice crouching pose there. What do you call that? Crouching, squatting pose?
Oh,
he's doing a squat there.
This one.
All right, so yeah, he's doing a fight pose there. He's gonna do a ninja chop type thing. So muscular arms, no articulation. It looks like for this one. Actually, I think you can maybe move the arms around a bit on that Kamen Rider, but this one looks to be stuck in place. But it'll be a nice statue for a desk.
Yeah.
Even for those that are a bit older than 6 years old, if you're interested in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, try it out.
Try it out indeed. All right, and we do have another new release, this time from Kotobukiya. Sneak this guy in the back. So from Kotobukiya, we have the Great X-Kaiser.
Great X-Kaiser.
That looks quite cool. I love his giant sword there. We've got like that lion type of dog face in the chest there. So that looks like a cool release from Kotobukiya. I believe all of these are going to be available for order on our site, HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. So if you are looking for something to do while you are quarantined, maybe stuck in your apartment or house, we are still here working, we are still shipping. So get those orders in and we'll ship you something that you can do while you are stuck at home.
Yeah, and maybe get one of these, because I'm going to be at home making this the PlayStation 1 very soon.
Yeah, welcome to Gunpla TV. Now you get homework.
I get homework.
You get homework to do again. Yay! Yeah, and if you guys out there, if you haven't seen it already, speaking of homework, I went ahead and I built that space station from the Wandering Earth series that we previewed last week when you were here with me, as well as the truck. I don't have the truck up here at the front. It's off to the side, so definitely check out that review. I don't think it is up yet, but it should be up soon. And next week?
Next week?
Next week we'll have a PlayStation review.
Yes! Look out for that.
Look out for that. Okay,
I'll try my best.
All right. Good luck, Ganbatte.
Thank you.
You can do it. Shouldn't be too hard. There's not maybe a whole lot to it. So.
Well,
and you've done Gunpla before, so.
That's true.
No pressure. It'll be a lot easier than Gundam. If you need to borrow a pair of nippers, I've got some nippers that you can borrow. So.
Okay, I really don't have any, so
okay.
That'd be great.
No problem. I've got plenty of nippers, so I'll let you borrow them. And I think that's it for this week, then.
That's it for this week?
That's it for this week. And next week is going to be the first week of April.
Oh, you know what that means.
You know what that means? Do you remember what that means?
I think we're thinking of the same thing.
Okay, why don't you take it away then? What is it?
If I say it, it wouldn't really be such a big surprise, right?
Yeah, you could go for it.
April Fools?
Ah!
Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. Then what is it?
Well, I mean, April 1st is going to be April Fools, so... Yeah, actually, speaking of April Fools... No, the first week of April, we're going to have the 5,000 yen HobbyLink Japan store credit giveaway announcement for the month of March. So tune in next week, hopefully next week, for that first episode.
That's not an April
Maybe we
Fool's
can turn that into April Fools.
No.
Congratulations, you win! April Fools!
That's so mean.
Isn't that going to be mean? No, actually, we'll finally give away the 5,000 yen store credit for that. So definitely be sure to comment on this video or any other videos that we've uploaded for the month of March, and you are entered to win 5,000 yen HobbyLink Japan store credit. Yes, I think that's okay.
Good luck.
Good luck. We don't have a schedule yet. We don't know what is going to be released next week. So that's why I say I hope we have an episode next week. But if there's nothing that comes into stock, we don't have anything to show next week. So hopefully there is something coming next week.
Yes, I hope so.
I hope so. If not, it'll be the week after that. But anyway, all right. I think that's it. Shall we end this?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks again for joining me this week, Dorothy. And thank you very much for building the PlayStation.
Yes, please look forward to that.
Definitely, I'll be looking forward to that. So thank you all out there for watching us. And we hope everybody out there is taking care, being sure to stay home and be safe. And gosh, yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah, stay healthy.
Stay healthy and stay indoors during these troubling times if you can. If you have to work like us, then, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you out there for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
See you.
Also, guys, just as I'm editing this here, these we didn't get to show the other week. Unfortunately, we can't sell them. They're from Alibaba, or they're licensed to them. But I think we're going to show them anyway when I build them. I bought them privately, but yeah, they look quite cool. So now that the Olympics has been postponed, maybe these will become more of a collector's item, but who knows? Probably be seeing these on Gunpla TV soon. Thank you. All right, see you guys. Bye.